So, good evening, good afternoon, and hello to everybody out there. Thank you very much for joining our meeting today. A deep thank you goes to our organization company, to Sven Gerling. Sven, vielen lieben Dank für alle deine Unterstützung. Today, your hosts will be Professor Oksana Vitovska from Bogomolets University in Kyiv in Ukraine, and we cannot hear you very well, Oksana.
And today we will speak about very important topic, and it's our great pleasure to introduce you to the director of the Institute of Experimental Ophthalmology in Homburg, Germany, Professor Achim Langenbucher, and he's active in biometry and IOL power calculation. And you might know him because of the database IOL clone for IOL specifications and optimized IOL constants. Or you might have read about him in the April issue of the journal The Ophthalmologist, as he was rated as one of the top 100 key opinion leaders in ophthalmology worldwide. And it's my great pleasure also to introduce Sibylle Scholtz, who initiated this meeting and who will also host our conversation.
Thank you so much, Oksana, for the introduction, and thank you so much for being with us. Dear attendees, again, thank you very much for being with us. It's a very special day today. We are celebrating the 15th birthday of the Institute of Experimental Ophthalmology based in Homburg, Saarland, Germany. And as you heard already, we now invite, and we are happy to introduce you to the boss of this institute, to Professor Achim Langenbucher, and I'm glad to welcome him to this meeting and say thank you also to him that he's ready for us to answer questions, to share insights into his excellent scientific work and his institute. And so welcome, Achim. Welcome. The stage is yours. The screen is yours.
Hello. Also from my side, thank you very much for the kind invitation, Oksana and Sibylle. And thank you very much for your birthday wishes, what you expressed now, and for my institute, and especially for the delicious birthday cake. I will try later. What a lovely idea. So impressive to see that such a big group, I think more than 200 or 150, joined us for this meeting. Let me show first the birthday cake, what I got. So that one is a birthday cake for the 15th anniversary of our institute. And we will try it later after that meeting. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on. And from what we know, you studied electrical engineering. So what was your path into ophthalmology? Please tell us how it happened.
Yes, that's true. So I studied electrical engineering at the Friedrich-Alexander University in Erlangen-Nuremberg between 1986 and 1992. My interests in optics and ophthalmology started very early, and therefore I focused on optics and digital signal processing, which is under the umbrella of communication engineering. And after 1992, up to 2005, I worked at the Department of Ophthalmology in Erlangen. Here I worked with Professor Naumann, maybe some of you know him, and I finished my doctoral thesis in 1995. And after that, 5 years later, in 2000, I received my Venia Legendi, and that is in general called being a lecturer for experimental ophthalmology. And in 2005, I moved to a medical physics department at Erlangen-Nuremberg University, run by Professor Willi Kalender. Maybe some of you know him from the spiral CT development. And as an associate professor, I established the division of medical optics there. And 4 years later, in 2009, I moved to Saarland University. So here I am working as a full professor at the medical faculty of Saarland University in Homburg. Here, 15 years ago, I established the Department of Experimental Ophthalmology, which focuses mainly on research in ophthalmology.
Oh, thank you very much for your brief CV. But as to me, I see that to be professor in Germany, it's really takes time and it's not easy, and it was a really long way. So it was really amazing. And Sibylle, what questions do you have for?
I have a lot of questions, and we are curious. You know that, Achim, that we prepared to be curious and ask you holes in your body, if possible, and if you like. Please allow us a view into the past. We were talking about you founded this institute 15 years ago. For example, what was your first project, your first study you started with at the new location in Homburg 15 years ago? Could you share that, or is it too personal?
No, it's a secret. So my first project, as much as I remember, my first project in Homburg was establishing an access database system for the local department of ophthalmology. The document for surgery details, for penetrating keratoplasty, for phototherapeutic keratectomies, for refractive laser surgeries, and so on. Together with the documentation of all preoperative and postoperative follow-up examinations. This database system was later on widely used by ophthalmologists here in Homburg and researchers like us to process many research topics. And what I remember is, for example, a study about the time course of endothelial cell loss after surgery, or a study on vector changes in astigmatism over time.
Very impressive. Thank you very much. I know what you're doing now, but you started already 15 years ago digging that deep into science. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and your website displays all your areas of research, and which are really broad. And please tell us more about it. Could you a little bit share more information about it?
Yes, for sure, I could share more information. So from its start, my working group has covered a wide range of research topics. Despite being part of the medical faculty, so not of the engineering faculty, our research area are of interdisciplinary character, engineering-based nature. So that means this is underlined by numerous collaborations with many other research groups worldwide and well-known industrial partners. My institute consists of an international team of physicists and engineers with different professional background. And let me step into some of the current research topic what we are processing. So we are working on intraocular lenses in general, on development of customized intraocular implants, improving the imaging quality of intraocular lenses and safety goggles. We are working on optical simulation, optics design, lasers and medicine, with focus on ophthalmology for sure, light tissue interactions. We are working with adaptive optics on photodynamic therapy, examination equipment, and surface metrology, mostly in the anterior segment. That means corneal topography and tomography.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's impressive, really. Thank you. And yeah, I have heard some very important for me words about artificial intelligence, but we will speak about it later, maybe, if we have time. But now, yeah, I know that Sibylle has a very favorite project.
Now it's burning on my fingers, on my feet. We now arrived, so at least my list of questions arrived at my very favorite project of your institute at IOLCon. It's this great database. How did you get this idea? How did you come across developing something like this database, impressive, used all over the world for everybody? All the surgeons have free access to those constants, to those optimized constants, and also to the specifications of the IOLs. I'm so impressed by this, what you did. So please, at least tell me more about it.
We all know that optical biology has fundamentally changed cataract surgery 25 years ago. Combined with the launch of the first optical biometer, it was a Zeiss IOL master without any numbering, without a 500 or 700, and Professor Heidi's ULIP database for IOL constants. that path was created for a successful new technology. And the first database of its time. It set a milestone in providing optimized lens constants for cataract surgery, but we all know from today's perspective, it's no longer meeting the modern requirements. To meet today's standard, I further developed Heige's idea of an internet database for intraocular lens constants. In 2017, exactly on my 50th birthday, I launched that IOLCon database. So today it's an internationally available, updated, web-based platform which contains the characteristic of all intraocular lenses. It's mostly technical specifications and the optimized lens constants. And the IOLCon web page includes the specification I told you already and all relevant IOLs on the market. And by applying modern standardized algorithms, IOLCon offers optimized constants based on more than 31,000 clinical results provided by surgeons and by IOL manufacturers from all over the world. And I would like to underline that IOLCon is an independent platform from IOL manufacturers, from biometer manufacturers, and from surgeons. So the data in IOLCon is generated by two user groups. On the one side, we have the IOL manufacturers. On the other side, we have the ophthalmic surgeons. And IOLCon offers easy download and upload functions of information on the biometry of the eye, the implanted lens power, and the postoperative reflection, because that are the mandatory data for IOL constant optimization. Most of you may know that ULIP database run by Professor Heiges is retired since 2016. So the last update was October 2016. And as of today, most data have been transferred from the ULIP, the IOLCon web platform, to ensure copyright compliance and agreement between Professor Heiges and myself is in place. IOLCon luckily is growing steadily over time, and currently our platform includes the data of 640 intraocular lenses from 35 manufacturers with almost 31,000 clinical results. So that means we could offer optimized constants for nearly 160 lenses. It's 159 lenses on the market.
Wow, that's more than impressive. It's amazing to see what IOLCon is. It's growing up. It's like a child. It's getting bigger and larger and more active year by year. Would you like to, I'm thinking of something special. Would you like to change the latest updates of IOLCon? What else do you offer to support ophthalmic surgeon in choosing the right IOL power? Would you like?
Sure. So we had some upgrade over time, for sure. So in the last 7 years since we launched IOLCon. About 4 years ago, we implemented, for example, an IOL calculation software in the IOLCon, and it's called the Lens Power Calculation Module, or LPCM. And here we are using the Castro formula, but we are generalized for toric lenses to make calculations not only for the equivalent lens power, but also for the toric lens power. The main difference to other toric calculators on the market, and there are quite a lot of toric calculators on the market, is that we are not restricted to use classical keratometry, either with or without any nomogram correction for the corneal back surface astigmatism. So here we have the option to enter corneal tomography data from both corneal surfaces, front and back surface, as well as data from total corneal power. And another project, also related to our IOLCon calculator, is a direct reading of standardized QR codes, which contains the biometric data of the eye. If in the future, manufacturers of optical biometers include a standardized QR code in the printout, either PDF or really normal printout, hard copy printout, we could calculate non-toric and toric lenses with a single mouse click. And this would be a large improvement, and it's already available for the IOLCon web calculator so far.
Wow. Wow, this is really, really impressive what you are doing and what you are offering by IOLCon. And what's amazing for me too is that IOLCon is evolving constantly, that you from time to time that you are steadily ongoing, evolve this platform and offer new features, new possibilities to our surgeons. It's great. It's wonderful.
It's really amazing. And I would like to mention also that it's quite also popular in Ukraine as well. And it will be truth if I mention that it's due to activity of Dr. Sibylle Scholtz. And of course, she told us a lot about this platform. So thank you so much, dear professor, for doing this for all ophthalmologists and for ophthalmosurgeons. And here, everybody knows you, of course, and you're traveling all over the world for congresses, and you give lectures and trainings. Or once, I hope we will meet in Ukraine, and I will be ready to welcome you there. And you're mentioned in the top 100 list. And what are your international projects? Maybe in different countries, institutes, maybe they are involved in your projects. And what are your further plans in this field? Yeah.
For sure, one of the recent milestones was that I was invited to be member of the IOL Power Club. And this Power Club is a platform with annual meetings, for example, and additional events, maybe at large congresses like the ECRS, where well-known experts like Ken Hoffer, Giacomo Savini, Chaim Aramberi, Graham Barrett, Jack Kane, Tom Olsen, Damien Gattinale, or John Shamas, or TK Eo, and many others have an active scientific exchange for all topics related to lens power calculation. And such meetings are, for me at least, very important to give me new impulses and ideas for future projects and future research topics.
Thank you so much. And yeah, sure, as I mentioned already, we will be really honored and more than happy to also to have you as a speaker at our congresses, and when you share your knowledge and experience with our ophthalmologists. Hopefully we will meet soon. Yeah, and please, Sibylle, I see you want to ask something.
I would like to add something. You know me better than anyone else here. To me, when I learned about the IOL Power Club, when I checked out the internet, I found out that this is a very, very, very elite club. Right now, at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, there are only 38 members active. Some are retired, some are already have passed away, but 38 members worldwide. This is a club. I don't know any other club which is that close and tight and specifically focusing on such a core topic like IOL power calculation. It's really amazing, and I'm very proud that one of our Germans, like Professor Achim Langenbucher, is part of this really, really close elite club of the world. So I'm impressed that you were invited, and I admire you more than before, because it's really a great, great compliment for you to be invited to that club, to be one of those 38 experts of the world. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great honor to have you today, and that we can speak about this and to learn a lot. And I hope our audience also will learn a lot of. Before our meeting, I didn't know that it's so elite club. So now I can imagine how it's difficult to be a member. Really, congratulations, and I'm personally honored to have opportunity to discuss today our topic. And also, let's go on and what maybe you started to speak a little bit about AI, maybe few words on this topic, in which way in biometry or IOL power calculation, or I have another question, so maybe it's a little bit personal, and you can choose which one will be preferable to you to answer. Another question is about, maybe you can shed a light view on your life in your serious academic life. Had there been any funny story which made you laugh, and any experiment that went maybe unexpectedly and crazily wrong? Do you have such?
Maybe some words first for to artificial intelligence. So for sure, it's a steadily growing discipline in all over medical applications and so on. So you have it in many medical software applications already. For example, for detection of any diseases at the retina, at the cornea, like glaucoma screening and so on. But in lens power calculation, it's used, for example, for the Hill RBF calculator. It's fully based on artificial intelligence, but there are also other applications, for example, the prediction of the axial lens position in the field of AGI. That cannot be done with scientific purposes. It has to be done with empirical purposes, and therefore artificial intelligence could be a good platform for axial position prediction for intraocular lenses. And let me come to your second question. Sure, there are many of those funny stories. Maybe this platform of the 15th anniversary of Experimental Ophthalmology Institute is not the proper platform for telling such a story. But we could shift it to any more private environment, maybe with a glass of red wine. It's a better platform for that.
Excellent idea. Let's meet at one of the next congresses. 1 or 2 glasses of red wine and listen to your stories. Yeah, good idea. Thank you for inviting.
I think that would be a relaxed and lovely and really interesting hour to listen to those stories. But also drinking wine with you would be fun. Again, something more private about you. You are a very well-known scientist. We just talked about that before. We talked about your thrilling academic life. Maybe ask you about your private activities, maybe about your private passions. If you don't want to answer that, you don't have to. It's absolutely about your private life. Everybody knows you as a big scientist, but what is behind this? What is the private person, Achim Langenbucher? Would you share, please, 1 or 2 things with us about your private life?
Yes, so it's a pity there is not too much time left for other activities besides research. But I really love to go sailing, for example, with my boat. And there I welcome mostly the relaxation of the sea. Besides that sailing, I like swimming, play the piano, and enjoy sometimes challenging chess games.
Oh, well, that's very interesting. And now I understand where your excellent makeup is coming from. It's not coming from the pot in my bathroom. It's coming from the sailing period over your summer holidays, most probably. That's good looking. Thank you very much for sharing that. I didn't expect that. And it's very kind of you to share also private things with us.
Yeah, and maybe are you planning to have a trip around the world sometime? Yeah, maybe once.
I do not have concrete plans now, but maybe later on, so after retirement. But retirement has to wait some 10 or 11 years from now.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Amazing.
So we're checking out for the chat function and for the question and answer section for questions from the auditorium. There's one, I saw just one. How do you see the future of science? This is very generic, but...
That is a difficult question. So I feel it's becoming more and more difficult, for example, for us to acquire young researchers, especially from other disciplines, such as engineering and physics, where we are active, who are willing to make their doctoral degree or PhD thesis in medicine. So everybody who is interested in interdisciplinary research, mostly in optics, that is our main or core discipline, is highly welcome to join our team. But in general, acquisition of new researchers is getting more and more difficult.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oksana? Yeah.
A bit maybe pause, and in this time I would like to invite all attenders not to keep silence, and please write to us your questions, and please write your impressions and tell us, do you have any experience of IELCON usage, and what do you think about future also of the science? Yeah, it will be quite interesting if you have also your opinion here in the chat, because yeah, we met surely to learn more and from Professor Langenbucher, but we will be happy also to know your point of view. Yeah, now, Professor, we can see you, and we have further questions. So, Sibylle?
Oh, go on. It's your turn.
So I always have some kind of difficult questions. Sorry. So that I work with also youth and students in my university, and I know how it's not so easy to make science more attractive to young specialists. I don't know what is your opinion, but I see in Ukraine young ophthalmologists, they prefer to go to practice and not so much are fond of science. What is your opinion? What can we do to make science more attractive to young students?
I fully agree to that. What we observed maybe in Ukraine, what we need is better perspective for young researchers. So we need options for working contracts that are not restricted, for example, to 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. And we need more tenure tracks also for young professors, because most of the professors also are time limited for a 5 years contract or 3 years contract. That is not enough for establishing a researcher group. So if we would like to attract also professors, then we need tenure tracks and good or stable positions at university.
Yeah, it's very important. Thank you for this. And yeah, we should. I think we should share our opinion more widely, and maybe other also colleagues will support us. And yeah, from one voice to another voice, and maybe the situation will be changed. Yeah, good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Achim, just now a question in the question A place showed up, and I do believe it might be very interesting for you. What are the biological works taking place in the research group? Is it possible to join your group without a physics background?
Without a physics background, for sure. So, but we are mostly active in engineering and physical disciplines. So mostly in the branch of optics in ophthalmology. So we do not have a biological lab or biologists who could mentor you. That would be no. So we could discuss, maybe there are some new projects what we could do together, but in general, so up to now, in the last 15 years, we were working mostly in optics in ophthalmology.
Okay, so the person who asked the question, I would recommend check out for Professor Langenbucher's email address on his homepage and just send him an email, and maybe you will find a new place in his lab.
Maybe we find an overlap. Yes. Okay.
That would be fun.
And yeah, and if you don't mind, one more question. So first of all, thank you very much for your insights in your projects and your prognosis of developing ophthalmology and biometry. And yeah, I would like to ask, do you have some students in your team or in the institute from other countries also? Do you have somebody, for instance, from Ukraine?
So we have, yes, for sure, we have students from other countries, Iran, we have students from Italy and so on. So from Ukraine, not at the moment, we do not have anybody from Ukraine, but as you outlined already, most of the students, at least in our disciplines, in engineering and physics, have excellent job offers directly after being graduated. And that is our problem for acquisition of new researchers, young researchers. Most of them decide to work in a company instead of widening their experience a little bit in other disciplines, for example, instead of working in medicine.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, because also now together with us, we have also some ophthalmologists from Ukraine, and I hope that our conversation also will be useful for them and to learn more about any kind of possibility also to themselves and their ideas together.
Great.
Team, yeah, it will be quite amazing.
There just popped up another question. I'm happy that the auditorium is so actively asking questions. That's very nice. So Achim, this one is, how do you estimate the potential of medical students or young physicians to contribute to your field? Or what would you recommend to enhance knowledge and skills in this field when one is not a physicist or engineer?
So in our institute, we are also monitoring, for example, medical doctors with their PhD or MD PhD or with their doctoral thesis. So for a doctoral thesis, it could be also a medical doctor or a medical student who is applying for such a thesis. But with a working contract, up to now at least, we have mostly experience with physicists and engineers. But for thesis, for a medical thesis, it's fine to have a medical doctor, yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you. I hope this answers your question to the one who sent the question in.
And do we have more questions? And also, again, I will ask, we have not so much time, but auditorium, if you want, please send us questions as soon as possible in order to have a direct answer from professors. Yeah. So, Sibylle?
So is there another idea, another question? What could the government do to improve the situation to bring more students into science and not directly into the practice? Is there any option or any improvement feasible by the government?
Yes, there could be some activities by the government also. So, for example, they could organize better working conditions for researchers, or they could organize better acceptance also for researchers from other disciplines like biology or physics or engineering, who are working in medicine. Because at the moment, the conditions are not as good, and most of them have a project-related limited working contract for 1 year or 2 years. That is not a good perspective for them to stay in medicine or in a different discipline.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, thank you very much.
And I don't see from my side, I don't see any more question. And if we don't have in chat, could you check, Sibylle, please, again?
There's nothing in the chat, nothing in the question answers. So obviously our audience is quite happy with what you told us, Achim, and thank you very much for that. And maybe, I don't know, no, there's nothing, no questions anymore.
Dear Achim, thank you very much for your insights in the projects, your prognosis of ophthalmology, biometry, and thank you also for that you shared and you a little bit opened for us your private life and personal some features. And now I understand from where you get all your energy for all these projects and this activity, because for me it's quite really difficult. The most difficult part in ophthalmology, this is biometry and optic, but this is background. So thank you for all this, and really it's excited to see what you already did, and it will be excited to see what you will develop next. Yeah, thank you so much. And would you like to wish something to our audience, because maybe they are waiting?
It's a really nice meeting, and thank you very much, Sibylle and Oksana, for this perfect organization. So you did a very good job, and best wishes to all of you and to all of the audience. And let me show again the birthday cake of our institute. So here, that is the birthday cake for our institute, and we will try it directly after this session. From my side, thank you very much to all of you.
Well, thank you so much, Achim. So I have prepared some coffee for me. You have the cake and I have the coffee, and please push some of the pieces of the cake into the screen to allow us to lick the screen, and we have the coffee instead. It's lovely to see that cake. It's beautiful, and I hope you will enjoy it, and I hope it will taste very nice.
I'm sure.
And again, also from my end, thank you very much for this meeting and accepting the invitation and agreeing to do this virtual birthday party for your institute. All my very best wishes to you, to your institute, to all your scientific projects you are dealing with right now. And cheers to the next 15 years of your institute. All the best, my dear. So, dear attendees, if there are no questions, I look around, there are no questions. I really hope that also you enjoyed this meeting, and also you enjoyed this deep dive into the science of the Institute of Experimental Ophthalmology in Homburg. And now also we leave you, or I leave you, with all my best wishes. We hope to see you soon again, preferably face-to-face at any upcoming Congress. So from my end, bye-bye and tschüss.
And happy birthday again.
Thank you very much also from my side, and thank you for organization. So
bye-bye.
bye.